Okay, let's go.
Hey guys, we are back again for our Unapologetic era, episode 7. We are rolling right along with this. It goes fast.
It does. It goes by really fast.
That we're already on number 7.
We get on a roll, and then it's like, time.
Cut.
Hey, cut. Fine.
It's okay. Hi for those out there in the live world.
Yeah, we're live on TikTok right now.
But we're on fully YouTube right now. Go hit subscribe so you can see each episode, get notifications when we post new episodes. We have a lot of shorts that go on there. So yeah, we love you guys, and just hit subscribe for the love of God. No, I'm just joking.
What are we talking about today?
Oh, we're going to start with our ex-capades. So anybody doesn't know and just joining us, our ex-capades are our scenarios and situations where we were in relationships beyond these red flags, during these red flags that we should have not stayed in and we did not leave, or scenarios after we left that we allowed the behavior to continue.
We allowed the behavior to continue, and we still were basically, in a relationship that wasn't a situationship.
A situationship.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another word for that? There's another new word, isn't there? I don't know.
Probably.
But
because that's technically not a situationship because you were in a relationship and then you broke up. So it's not but it is a situationship.
We're gonna talk about that too. The fade out of afterwards. We'll go into that. But let's do the escapades first. Mine, which you actually got involved in. If you remember, I'll refresh your memory. But mine was after the fact I left him, but he went on and couldn't handle not knowing what was going on anymore and created fake social accounts as me, messaging my friends to try to collect information on me. And you're the one that actually found it and was like, hey.
Obviously, this isn't you.
She's like, is this you? Because you showed me the screenshot and you were talking to him like it was me. And it turns out it was not me. And so how long would I have gone down that rabbit hole of this crazy person creating socials to find out what I was doing, who I was talking to, where I was going to be, what plans I was setting up.
Stalking.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for you, that could have went on forever. So what I gathered.
Obviously, outside of me, whoever he was asking didn't know what you were doing.
Right. Because, again, introverted, private person that we talked about in the last episode of my Myers-Briggs. But
the thing I still have not taken yet. I changed clothes.
You have faith in it. I have faith in you. But, how was I even with this person that was able and the capability of going to this level of...
I'll tell you this right now. That person that went to that extreme to find out where you were going went to an extreme to get you to fall in love with them.
Oh, good point.
Mm-hmm. And that's hard to deny. The whole love bombing thing is really hard to ignore.
Right.
And I definitely know in situations where I'm like, is this love bombing or is this person genuine? And am I going to push someone away that doesn't deserve to be pushed away? And at this point, that is a real question. But at this point, I almost don't care either. I'd rather push them away. And if they're genuine and real, it's still going to work out somehow or another. And it's not going to be a fight. It'll just work. Right?
I don't know.
The right way, right?
There's too many psychos in this escapade situation.
You
can tell me
your story. So,
no, I'm done. I'm
okay,
good.
Right,
I don't feel like there's more to extend.
If we're gonna go with exes, my story is a little bit more dramatic, and I'm not gonna say I'm blameless in it, but this particular story, I'm blameless in. So yeah, wake up one morning with the situationship, and hear some rattling on the, I didn't know where the rattling was coming from, but I heard rattling and it wasn't right.
Silverware rattling?
No, I had stayed in this particular location a bunch of times. I knew what it sounded like when you woke up. And this was not a dog ruffling around. This was somebody was trying to open doors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I said, somebody's trying to open the door. I can hear the knob turning. And they were like, no. And I'm like, listen, it's still happening. And they were like, stay right here, which means I'm giving you a 15-second head start, and I'm coming right behind you. And so that's exactly what happened. He ran out and attempted to address the door rattler. And because there was a door rattler, and I give him about 15 seconds, just enough to hear what is she doing here?
So another female voice in the
Yes,
background is what you're hearing. Oh,
so
no.
I ran out, and I say I run out, I walked out, and immediately he has to grab her and like hold her back. Now, this is a crazy story, right? Except it got a step crazier for me. Because in that moment, as him holding her back, and she wasn't trying to hit me. She was just trying to get away. Like, she was trying to get away from him, and she was...
Who would have known what she would have done, though, if she got away from him?
She was very upset,
yeah.
Okay? And I noticed in the flailing, oh my God, they have matching tattoos. When did my situationship get a ugly matching tattoo with another chick? And so I'm like, oh, this is gonna get good. And this is what makes it an escapade, and what we're talking about, because in this moment, I was fully confident that I was the main chick and I was the only one he cared about.
Oh, you're delusional. Oh my God. Sorry.
And tattoo girl's coming at me, full on pajamas, got on the fluffy socks and everything. Oh, by the way, it's Thanksgiving morning. Oh. And it's about 8 a.m. Thanksgiving morning. Yeah. I didn't
so that
didn't
tells
have any proper
me
clothes because
this woman dwelled on this all night long, and she kept waiting.
No, I know this feeling that she had.
Yes.
I was effing desperate.
Yes.
To find out what was going on.
Yes.
Which, let me tell y'all right now.
We've all done
really
it.
Was. We have.
We've all done it.
This was not warranted in the short amount of time that they knew each other. But still, I knew how she felt.
Yeah.
Whether it was warranted or not, I knew how she felt. And I did feel a little bit sorry for her, but I also felt like she needed to leave. And she was not leaving. She just... Okay, so this went on for I don't know, 2 hours.
You're still sitting there waiting on this?
Yeah, and I didn't have any... By the way, I didn't have any clothes. So I'm just wearing his T-shirt. And... Because we had, it wasn't planned. We didn't plan to stay the night together. So all I had was the clothes that I had on the night before, and I didn't put those on. And she's in her PJs and fluffy socks. I mean, full-on PJs and fluffy socks. And I had obviously never met the girl before. She just kept telling me, I just need a minute alone with him. And I was like, I mean, I kept telling her, when you leave, I'm still going to be here. So you can say whatever you want, but I'm still going to be here. Again, very confident in myself.
That you were the main chick.
Fully effing confident in myself.
Okay, but were you the main chick? Okay,
I'll never know if I was the main chick. I mean, that day I was. But I don't know. I mean, I learned a lot of things about that situation after the fact. But her and I actually tried to team up for a while and be friends, but it didn't work out because the situation was determined to keep everyone separate because he needed to keep his lies separate.
Yeah.
So in the end, she blocked me, which was probably the healthiest thing. But I felt so bad for her. It was really bad, and she did eventually leave, and then he, this is so good, because then situation is in tears. I don't want to hurt people. I feel like I didn't need this to happen, and I, again, fully confident, I'm like, you're such a good person. No.
Why are we so dumb?
Thanksgiving morning, a girl is coming at me with a matching tattoo with my situation that I had around for a long time, and she'd known for 6 weeks.
It's psychologically unbalanced to have a matching tattoo within 6 weeks, or having a matching tattoo.
This is not a small tattoo either. This poor girl has got to look in the mirror for the rest of her life and know that she shares a permanent, it is black. She could have it removed. But permanent tattoo with somebody who treated her bad.
Why'd you try to be friends with her?
This was next level. This person was next level. And so
the man.
The
her
girl.
Her. Okay.
One, I wanted her to know, because she really did think that and he's very good. He's very convincing. But she really thought that I was, I guess, the problem is the best way to put it. And I wanted her to know, look, I'm going to show you the receipts. This is what's really been going on. And so I reached out to her and I asked her to meet up with me, and she was hesitant at first, that she thought I was lying to her. And then she called me out. And I had to follow through, or else I was going to be lying. But she said, okay, well, if you're telling the truth, then we know where he's at right now. Let's show up there together. And we did. we did.
You can't just end there. What
Well,
happened?
I mean, that was the start of a love affair with the girl that ended up with me being blocked.
So
I don't even know what to say anymore because anybody who knows me knows this story and they're going, oh my God, right now.
sorry, I'm not mean to be rude, but I'm like, my eyes are watering that I'm like so intense into this conversation.
It's an intense situation. Like, it was super intense, and living through it was very intense. And coming from such a narcissistic marriage,
Right.
it almost, like, why didn't I run away? Why didn't I say, hey, I'm an adult, I'm not putting up with this? Because my body and my brain was used to being at that level of crazy.
Yeah, and which we talked about before, it's a heightened.
So now I'm not, because I really did love and trust the situation. Like, I really did. And I thought that I uniquely was being loved and trusted back, which I wasn't, but I
Right.
did think so. So why would I put up with it? Because it's what I was comfortable in, and I felt cared for before he started doing these things. This was a new thing that he, like, when we broke up, he started acting these ways. Well, he probably did it when we were together, and I just didn't know. But he did a really good job of covering up. But yeah, so I don't know.
I
The
think
poor
that,
girl. I do feel bad for the girl, though.
That was a good Ex-capades.
I
like
told
that
you
one.
whenever earlier you were like, and I was like, I think I have a better one. We're gonna call it the banger for all kinds of reasons.
Oh, that was, yeah. Everybody was getting banged on that one. But
Yep,
now
yeah.
well, okay, so let's talk, like, let's turn, because this was all during the holidays, right? This was Thanksgiving, like you're saying.
Mhm.
We are fully into cuffing season right now.
So I think we're going into it, and I'm noticing it as a single woman big time,
Yeah.
because all of a sudden these guys are like, they're trying to like pin me down, and I'm like, you don't even know what my first name is.
Right. And I think you have where you're going with this. But for those that don't know what cuffing season is, that maybe a little older generation, maybe. Because
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, so basically, to explain to you guys what it is, it's a situationship, basically, that will begin around the holidays, so about Thanksgiving-ish time, and go through Valentine's Day or the latest by March.
that's what I had asked you yesterday when we were talking about this. Is I said, does cuffing season end before Valentine's Day? Because I feel like at Valentine's Day, for most women, that's a very significant holiday that we are like in it for the long haul.
So from reading about it, because I don't really know either, but I mean, like, it goes, could go into through March to our springtime. So
Till boat season.
right. Which is interesting that you say that, because I was like, what? There's not one, if you're in your wild girl summer or boating season, let's just say.
It's the pontoon boat girl.
Yeah, you do not want to be making the desperation, stupid decisions of being in your situationship or lockdown, because you're
What
gonna.
if your situationship has a boat?
Then that's when you end up with multiple situationships with multiple women with one
I
man.
actually do know the answer to that.
Okay.
If your situationship has a boat, he's uncuffing you because he wants to get the boat hose back on.
Yes.
He's dropping you like a dead weight.
You're being dropped.
Yeah, you're getting dropped.
So-
It doesn't matter how hot you are, you're getting dropped, because now you think you have feelings. He knows he's never had feelings, and you're definitely going to get
You're going to get dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But from reading all this stuff, let's talk about, because if anybody doesn't know me, one of my degrees is in psychology. I don't know if you even know.
I
What
get
about-
surprised all the time. You're like, I have a degree in this. And I'm like, I'm just happy that I made it to get to the DMV and my license is up to date. Like, what?
So my first degree was in psychology. Well, my second, because I was a music major for a long story. Anyway.
I don't know that either.
So see, there you go. So it actually has a physiological and a psychology reason behind it. Because as we're going to a different season, people's set into some sort of depression and they get really lonely. So they start preparing mentally for these events that are coming up for the holidays, for families, friends, and other things they're having to go to. So they don't want to be lonely. So it's really is a depression state that people are going into of not being alone when it starts getting cold and have these things coming up.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, I believe Christmas time is also like the highest rate of suicide.
Yeah, I think you're right too.
So yeah, I mean, people just don't. Man, you know what? You get used to being lonely.
Well, the people that are not used to being lonely, that they just came out of their hot girl summer, hot girl boating season, need something to fulfill. And the men that are the same thing, that are off their pontoons, have nothing to
Are
look forward
girls
to.
allowed to do cuffing though? Like that, I feel like a girl is not allowed to be a cuffer, because then they seem clingy. It has to be the guy that's the cuffer.
You think so? I think it could go both ways.
It should go both ways, but I feel like guys would be like more. It would take more. Like a girl would have to shoot her shot a lot more than a guy would when it comes to trying to like grab someone and.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because guys are more likely to run, and girls can be love bombed so much easier.
But see, it's interesting that you say that because before I was married and thinking about past relationship histories, and we can talk about this, I was really bad about the quiet fade-out breakup, which is psychologically, But the cuffing situation can be also construed as a gaslighting situation because you're perceiving them and giving them this whole of let's have a wonderful holiday season
it's almost
together.
Like lying by omission because you're you or they. Or not specifically saying, I have feelings for you, I care about you, I love you, we're going to be together forever. But they're allowing things to continue to grow and progress without saying, I don't see a future with you.
And it also goes to the excuse your vision of what reality is. So like if a woman is truly invested into the relationship, she's not realizing that she's in cuffing season and being cuffed by this man. She's going to skew her reality and...
Can cuffing season happen to different people at different times in their life? Like, let's say you had a sick parent and you just needed someone to lean on. Would someone grab to someone and keep them in their life just to have someone, you know what I'm saying? Like during different periods in your life.
Yeah, because if you're, same thing I was talking about psychologically, if you're at a lower state of being depressed, which in a high situation like you're talking about of emotional driven, of feeling lower self-esteem, you're absolutely in a different point in your life can be cuffed because you're just trying to fulfill
I wonder
a
if
void.
I've been cuffed before.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely have.
Well, I'm sure I have, but I'm like trying to think of like, I think I have too many situations, too many years. Go back to the fade out thing.
Sure.
I have noticed that when it comes to this like dating app age, which I know I kind of bring this up a lot, but that's because I'm doing my own little experiment with it. I had this really, really rigid idea of what I felt dating apps were, and I'm trying to be softer about it and be more open to it. And so that's why it's kind of on my forefront of my mind. But the fade out is absolutely the best way to move on from those, without a doubt. And I have a male friend that he's like a dating app pro.
Oh, Lord.
I actually have two of them, but one of them in particular I've talked to a lot about it. And he'll have a couple of dates a day.
A day? Did you just say a day?
We can't take phone calls. Thank you very much. But yes, a couple a day. He will have a couple a day. And which I did definitely ask, like, what if you meet somebody you want to spend time with more? And he said, that doesn't happen.
How does he afford that? Financially, I'm just like a whole nother perspective. How does he afford dating?
I mean, that's not a question. That's none of my business. Because I'm not sure. Like, I think he's actually pretty strategic about it. So, like, he'll have like a lunch date, and then he'll have like a coffee date, and then he'll have a dinner date. But the dinner date, sometimes he'll just meet for, if I remember properly, he'll just meet for a drink first, so that if he's not interested, he doesn't have to waste time with a meal or pay for a meal. But anyway, point is that he loves and lives for a fade out.
Okay, when you're doing a fade out, one, it's not consideration of the other person's emotions.
Duh.
Not that everybody needs closure.
Super self-centered.
Right. Not that everybody needs closure. Not saying everybody does, but that's not taking into consideration. I think it's a coward way out to avoid dealing with their emotionals that you're fading out.
Okay. I agree, but I also disagree.
Okay.
Because if I had a guy that was actually the same guy we were talking about, he is kind of aware of himself, and every now and again he will tell the girl, look, this isn't gonna like go anywhere, I'm not looking for anything, and the girl sees that as, oh my gosh, he's like opening up to me and being honest with me, and then the girl thinks they can change him.
I hate hearing that word.
But it's true. And I've told him so many times, he's like, I don't understand. Like, I told her I don't want anything, and I don't understand why she's like wanting a commitment. And I'm like, did you talk about your emotions? Because if you talked about your emotions now, she's like, oh, he's a feely guy. No, I can change him. All women, for some reason, even the ones who say that they don't think they can change a guy, think they can change a guy. Why? How did I end up on Thanksgiving morning with a girl with the same tattoo coming at me? Because I thought I was going to change the guy. Even though I wasn't trying to, but why was I sticking around otherwise?
You're so right. And you can't, like, I'm just, like, now, we've talked about it, as my emotional intelligence has improved, even in the past year, I can say.
Okay.
Like, I have come to, like, I finally, you can't change anybody. I don't care who it is.
No.
People are set.
And especially at our age, like men and women. It's not just men and women. Like, we are set in our ways. Now, that person can decide to change.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with the outside world. It is their own decision that they've decided to change. And that brings me to my theory that I tell all men, and I have not been wrong yet, and even myself has failed over and over again with this one. And that is, when it comes to relationships, if a man loves a woman, absolutely nothing will stop that man from being with that woman. And if that means he has to change to be with her, he will. But she does not want him to change or ask him to change or do anything to make him change. He does it. Unfortunately, most of the men that do that are the ones that we don't want.
Except, let me ask you this. So, I don't know if you remember this story, but when my husband, he decided he was done, he broke up with me, and he literally left the country and was gone.
Well, in his defense, he did live there when it first.
I know, right? He wasn't fleeing the country from me. He, like, legitimately has a house there, and it's like everything. But I didn't ask him to change. I was just like, bye. Like, I'm not, like, it's not even worth my time or effort. But you were right. He made the conscious decision that he wanted to change what the problem was, that he was gone for 4 months. And
I had accepted that he wasn't coming back.
I accepted he wasn't coming back, and we were done. Like, there was no communication.
You were not trying to get him back. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Was done. Done. And so that's interesting that you say that, because that's the same case scenario. Like, he made the conscious effort to decide, okay, I want to be with her, and this is what I have to do, XYZ, to make that happen. So.
And if you had chased him, he probably wouldn't have come to that conclusion.
No.
He wouldn't have had the opportunity to reflect.
But I can't say I wouldn't have chased him if he would have stayed in the country. Like, I can't.
I don't know. You and I talked about it during that time, and I'm not. If he had been in the same city, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it would be really hard to not be able to, like, want to say you see him.
Right.
And y'all were married.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, legally you were attached.
Yes.
So you had plenty of reasons you could have come up to contact him. But yeah, I would definitely say leaving the country helps a lot. Man, I wish I had some exes that left the country and never came back again.
But all the things you're saying, like those, I could honestly say back then, where I was emotionally, I had chased some men that had told me the same thing. I don't want this. Don't come over. Don't do this. And really spewed their emotions to me. And I'm like,
no, a woman.
I still showed up at their door.
When a woman sees it as he is confiding in me.
Right.
No, he's trying to be honest so that he's not an asshole.
Right.
And then we see it as, no, he's confiding. No, he's trying to not be an asshole.
Right. And I was stupidly blind by many of times. And even men being like, I told you, and you just kept showing up.
And we still stand there with that blank look on our face, like, what?
What? I thought you liked me.
Or they're flailing with a matching tattoo.
Right.
Told you I was busy last night.
But I think it's just realizing, you guys, like, the fade out's real. It's toxic. Ghosting someone after that, sometimes you have to block them.
I've ever, like, officially ghosted someone. I had a situation a couple weeks ago with a guy that I had been talking to that we had a really bad experience together. And I didn't ghost him by any means, but I did make a decision. And I said, I'm unfriending him everywhere.
Right.
I'm not going to go out as far as, like, block him, but I'm going to unfriend him. Like, I don't need this person in my life.
I don't want to see the things that he's...
It wasn't even that. Like, I could care less what he posted. It was just, it was a decision that I made. Like, why would I continue this friendship? Why would I continue to let him think at all that what he did and how he acted is acceptable to have me in his life at all?
Right.
And I have to say, I unfriended him on everything, and he has never reached out again.
You know what I find, and we can wrap it up after this, but I find that the people that I ghosted, didn't have to ghost. They were just really good people that I was just stupidly emotionally immature. But the
Oh, yeah.
people that I was following are the people that had the red flags that I should have ghosted in the first
All
place.
I'm going to say about that is that I know in my situation, I think it has to do with that whole heightened survival mode thing.
Feeling the
but-
thrill.
Yeah.
The thrill of it.
Chasing that high.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm now trying to teach myself is to find that median of where we're supposed to be at. I say that I'm looking for a safe place or a home. I think I know what that feels like, but I'm not sure I've ever had it, so I'm not sure I know what it
You'll
feels
get bored like I did.
Yeah.
It'll be
Maybe they'll have a boat, so.
Then they'll have a boat and it'll be kind, and you can have all, long as he's stable enough to not have the cuffing girls on there.
I'm too old for this cuffing stuff.
All right, guys. Well, that is it for episode 7. Go follow us on YouTube, subscribe.
Please.
So you can get notifications when we start posting things. But that's it. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.